Saludos fanáticos y fanáticas de boxeo 24/7 y del boxeo en general. Espero que estén todos teniendo un fin de semana de maravilla. Otro dominguito aquí, 7 p.m. hora de Orlando, 8 p.m. hora de PR. Saludos a mi gente allá en Puerto Rico. Mientras vayamos entrando, me dan saber si se escucha, si se ve y toda la cosa, ¿ok? Déjenme saber. Bueno, antes que todo, ¿cómo queremos, verdad? ¿Cómo vamos a empezar el programa sin darle gracias a nuestros auspiciadores? Queremos empezar con Tanis Diamond Boutique, los mejores en prendas y accesorios. Usted sabe, mi gente, San Valentín ya está a la vuelta de la esquina. Usted quiere un regalo especial para ese ser querido que usted quiere mucho. Entren a la página, mi gente, una joyería 100% digital. Entra a la página, digan mío o me gusta, mi gente, por $5 nada más taxi envío. Y se hacen envío todo Puerto Rico, Estados Unidos e Isla de Guam. Ok, mi gente, ya saben, Tanis, no hay más nada que hablar. Envío a Puerto Rico, Estados Unidos e Isla de Guam. Ok, mi gente, ya saben cómo es. Y también que si usted vive en Florida y quiere un eventazo que se dé bien, que esté organizado o quiere una canasta para algún ser querido, Details and More son los mejores en todo Florida en hacerlo. Entren a la página, mi gente. Usted quiere una boda, un aniversario, quinceañero, lo que usted quiera, pero que se dé bien y que esté bien organizado. Details and More son los mejores en toda Florida en hacer ese tipo de eventos. Ya saben, entren a la página, saluden a la dama. Ella con mucho gusto le hace un eventazo, le hace una canasta de para San Valentín, cualquier cosa que usted quiera. Usted siente, díganle, quiero esto, y ella con mucho gusto se la va a separar. Bueno, gente, antes que todo, queremos dejar de saber que tenemos hoy una invitada estadounidense. Tuvimos la oportunidad de observar su combate. Por eso es que nosotros queremos dejarles saber a ustedes de antemano que la entrevista va a ser en inglés, ¿ok, mi gente? Ya saben. Gente, con un placer, me complace a mí presentar a nuestra invitada, a la pegadora más temida, bueno, de las pegadoras más temidas en el boxeo femenino, Brooke Evans. How you doing, Brooke?
Hello, hi. How are you?
I'm good. How about you?
I'm doing really good.
Okay, I gotta tell you, first of all, it's a real honor for me to have you on the show. Saying yes and committing to your announcement that you said yes and you're here actually is a real honor for us to have you on the show for the first time ever.
Of course. Thank you so much for having me. Honestly,
Oh, okay. So Brooke, like we do with all our guests in the show, we would like to know how and at what age did you fall in love with boxing?
Let's see. I'd say, I always watched boxing when I was young and stuff. Like my grandpa would watch it and stuff like that. So I watched it when I was younger and everything. I played a lot of sports and stuff in high school. And then when I graduated high school, I was watching this Rocky movie and got the idea that I wanted to try boxing, So that's the truth.
Wow, yeah, Rocky movies. They're so inspirational, and it's really good. It's really awesome, actually.
Yeah. So that's kind of how it came about, and like really the reason why I guess playing sports like all through high school and stuff when I graduated, it was like I missed that competition. I missed when you go to practices and stuff, you're working out and you're doing that and that discipline stuff. So it was just something I wanted to try, and once I started the training and stuff, I loved it because it was all something new, and it kept me busy and everything.
Okay. So, can you tell us a little bit about your amateur career as a boxer?
Okay, so I would have started boxing when I was 18, and I'm 37 now, so that was a long time ago, and it was before that they didn't have amateur boxing for women in the Olympics yet. So it was still pretty early on, and when I first started boxing, I did really, really well because back then, the technique and stuff of women, and it wasn't the same, at least on the level I was fighting, the lower amateur level. I hit hard. I was really aggressive, and I just kind of kept going forward, and that was enough, you know? So I did really, really well. At the beginning of my amateur career, I won the Indianapolis Golden Gloves, and I got the Women's Boxer Award there. So that was kind of cool. I think I got like a TK. I think I ended up, they stopped the fight in like the second or third, in the second round, I think. And then I got to fight at the Hyatt, this place in Cincinnati. They were doing the Olympic trials for the men. And I got to do an exhibition fight there for women. So that was pretty cool. And I won that fight as well. So my amateur early, I won most of my fights. I think I was like, whatever, 8-0 or something like that, 9-0, 8-0 early on.
Oh, it's really, really, really nice, really cool, really awesome amateur career. Yeah.
And then I took a long time off, and then I came back when I was older, and I had taken probably like, I don't know, 9 or 10 years off, maybe even longer. But because it was like 18, 19, 20. Then I had one MMA fight at like the age of probably 23. That was just kind of to try it for something different. And then I didn't get back into boxing until about 4 years ago. And
Okay.
so I was like 35 or 34.
Okay, so wow, I didn't know that you had an MMA also, brief MMA career also. So it's really awesome.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
just to try it. It's like I only trained, I think, maybe 6 months or something for it. And then just went in there and I just tried to box her. That was it. I mean, I knew how to like sprawl and how to kind of protect myself and stuff on the ground, but I didn't necessarily know what I was doing. I tried my best though.
Okay, okay, I understand. So, how was the offering? How was the approach for you to make the jump from amateur boxing to professional, making your debut in the year 2023?
So what I did was when I came back to boxing when I was older, like I told you, when I was like, whatever, it was like 34 or whatever, I knew that I wanted to turn pro then. Like that was kind of a goal, right? So I wanted to turn pro then, but I needed to get more of that amateur experience just because I had taken so much time off. And my coach worked with me a lot on some certain things like defense, and just he wanted me to be more, I guess, seasoned and stuff in the ring before I took that jump to become a pro. So I used I had quite a few fights. I think I had 8 or 9 amateur fights when I came back, but that was just again just for the experiences, just to continue learning and get better. And then and then when I turned pro, it was nice. It was good. I had a good pro debut. I won that, and it felt great, and I loved it.
Yeah, you went all 4 rounds. Talk a little bit about that night. Were you nervous? Were you confident? How was that pro debut for yourself?
I guess, I mean, I was nervous because I'm nervous before every fight. That's just how that goes. I don't think I was necessarily extra nervous, but I know when I got my pro debut, like I was so grateful. Like before I did my walkout, like I almost got like emotional because I was just so like grateful that I got to do that, and I'd worked really hard to make that happen. So I was nervous just because it's a fight, but I was really, really excited and super grateful that I got the opportunity to do that.
Yeah, yeah, I understand. I can imagine. So you won by unanimous decision. Were you trying to end it? Go all 4 rounds, or or you would expect to get the knockout win or some stuff like that?
My first fight, I'm glad. Honestly, I'm glad my first fight went all 4 rounds because then it gave me that experience. Like if I would have gone in there and ended it quick or whatever. Not that it's not like I purposely made it go 4 rounds or anything like that, but I'm glad that it happened like that because then I got more of that ring experience. And she was really tough. I was trying to drop her with body shots, and I think it was the last round, and there was maybe 30 seconds left, and I was just like laying into her, and I knew I hurt her with a body shot because I heard her make the noise, you know. So if I would have had just a little bit more time, I think I probably would have dropped her with the body shot, but it was good. I mean, I don't ever really necessarily, well, I was going to say I don't necessarily go in for the kill, but that last fight I kind of did, but that was a little different. But usually it's like I take my time and feel things out and all that.
Okay. So your second fight was your first defeat by majority decision, which means that it was a really close fight. How did you feel in that fight? What can you tell us about your second fight, which was your first loss?
Okay, so I learned a lot from that fight because I ran a half marathon like a week and a half, 2 weeks before that. And my thinking was like, I already run a lot when I train. And I was like, oh, hold on one sec. I'm so sorry. My son, hold on.
Okay.
Sorry.
Gente, ya saben, estamos aquí también dándole aquí el kill al boxeo femenino. So yeah, well, you were talking about me, your second fight, your first defeat in your pro career.
Oh yeah, okay. So I had ran a half marathon, which was like 13 miles. And I did that the week before that, or week and a half before, and I think it just took a bigger toll on my body because I just couldn't. My legs just weren't there for the fight like they should have been. When it was time to like flip the switch, because she was pressuring me a lot, and I was kind of trying to like matador her around, and I was but it kind of started to look like I was more like evading than I should have just been attacking. But I couldn't seem to find the energy to do it. I just overtrained way too much for that fight.
Yeah, it's something that people usually don't take and think because they say, "Oh, you gotta train hard." Yeah, we gotta train hard, but you also cannot overtrain yourself because then you can get time is just gonna take a toll on you. You know, don't get overtrained and all kind of stuff. People don't believe that, but only people that are really close to boxing they should know about that. So it's a really good point that you brought that up. To be honest.
Yeah. And that's why I'm glad I'm glad that fight happened because then I learned that about myself. And two, I'm older. I'm almost 40, you know, like, and the way I was training for that fight with doing that half marathon and just the week up before that fight, I was probably doing way too much. So I definitely learned a lot from that fight.
Okay, then your third fight, which was in 2024, and you fought Alexis Robinson. That was a draw. You feel that it was a how you say it, that it was a fair result, or you thought you won the fight?
I feel like I won that fight, and typically when you're so I was brought in and she was the hometown. I mean, it was her trainer and stuff. That was the promotion that put it on and all that. And most people that know anything about, you know, how boxing and stuff works, like if you come out with a draw in a situation like that, you probably won, you know, like they couldn't, if you were to watch the fight, I have her on the ropes most of the time. I know that the third round was kind of close, but I won all the other ones in my opinion.
Okay, so out of 4 rounds, you think you won 3 rounds, and they still gave it a draw.
I mean, yeah. I mean, honestly, the third round was just close, but I still could have even got that round. Do you know what I mean? But that was the only round that was like kind of, in my opinion, a little close.
Yeah, because the scorecards are 38-37, which means that you won 3 rounds. There was another round, another card that was 39-37 against you, and the last one was 38-38. So, you agree with the 38-38 or just 39-37 for you?
Just for me, I think, like I said, I do think that I won that fight for sure.
Okay.
But I was happy with the draw. Does that make sense? Because I'd rather come out with the draw than them like me get robbed and get a loss. So I mean, I was happy with the draw, if that makes sense. Because in amateur, there's plenty of times that I get like robbed with something, and you come out with the loss, and you don't agree with how the judging was. So at least I got a draw. So I was in a way I was kind of happy with that, given the whole crowd was there for her. It was her promotion that put it on. I was the B side in that whole fight. So yeah, I was happy with the draw though.
Yeah, because if you lost, it'll be two straight losses, and it'll be hard
Exactly.
for you to get a fight. Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's talk about January 25th.
Yeah.
I was there. I had the chance to meet you. I had the chance to watch the fight you fought against a Edna Turner, which was she was making her debut, and I saw a Brooke Evans that just went in for the kill.
Yeah, I did more so that time.
Why you went there to just get a kill? Were you just trying to make sure were you trying to prove something? Were you mad or how
Yeah.
about that? Yeah, just let me know about that fight.
Well, I will tell you, I definitely wasn't mad because if I get mad, I'm terrible. Like when I spar and if I start to get frustrated and mad, I do absolutely terrible. Like, cause I just get too worked up. But, and anytime I get mad, I'm just mad at myself because I'm like doing stuff wrong. But, anyway, no. So to be honest, I was going to try to, the first round, well, there was only one round, but at the beginning of the first round, I was feeling her out for a second. Like I was like throwing my jab, right? Just kind of seeing what she was gonna do, throwing my jab at her hands and stuff like that. And she kind of came at me a little crazy and wild. And I was kind of backing up and radiusing out. And then I dropped her with, I think it was like a hook. I like threw her right in a hook and it dropped her. And then I was standing in the neutral corner. And in my mind, I was like, I don't want to get caught with something stupid because her punches were so wild and they were hard to like necessarily read because they were just a little crazy. So that's when I decided that I was just going to go ahead and push the pocket, like be controlled, but put a lot of pressure on her and just push that pocket that way. I just didn't want to get caught with anything stupid because you still
Okay,
have little 8-ounce gloves on.
okay. So, Brooke, given you're a very aggressive fighter, you're really tough. Have you ever considered joining bare knuckle boxing?
Yeah, and that's funny. So you bring that up. I'm actually right now in the process of thinking about switching over, and I have some stuff in the works that hopefully it'll all work out. So yeah, that's something I'm thinking about doing for sure.
Okay, and whenever you have everything confirmed, just hit us up and we'll promote you the best way because it means a lot to us, the team of Boxeo 24/7, to give the support to people that say yes and they're on the show as well. We always do that with every single guest we got on the show, and not just that. If in the future you have a fight you want to talk about, just let us know. We'll give you time and space to talk whatever you want and just promote yourself the best way you can, like you always do.
I would love that for sure. And yeah, I should know here soon what's going to be going on with all the bare knuckles stuff, but I got an opportunity. I definitely think I'm going to take advantage of it. So I'm excited and nervous, but I definitely love to be back on the show and be able to talk about stuff or my next fight, whenever that may be.
Yeah, we'll definitely look forward to that. And I want to thank this gentleman, which is a real gentleman. I want to thank Nicholas Beres, which he was the one that made my trip to Kentucky possible and meet people, superstars like yourself and others as well. So, Brooke, any last words for anybody who's watching this interview?
Just keep watching because I think some exciting stuff's going to be coming up for me. So that's it.
Okay, well, Brooke, God bless. We're gonna be keeping an eye out for you. Thank you for being on the show and people, Brooke Evans, girl
Yeah,
power.
follow. Oh, that's my son. That's my
Yeah,
son, and
hey,
and
the wrestler,
every
the wrestler, the
he is.
wrestler.
And then follow my Instagram. It's Bare Knuckle Brook is my Instagram right now. So if everybody wants to give that a follow, that would be awesome.
Okay. Mi gente, I'm gonna touch Spanish for a minute. Mi
Okay.
gente, Brooke Evans, vamos a apoyarla. Es importante que tengamos el girl power pendiente, okay? Girl power, okay? Let's give the support because we need the girls to have the same treatment and pay as the guys, okay? Así que, Brooke, thank you. Have a good night. Thank you for being on the show.
See ya.
See ya.